What's up, guys? Coach John Wojo here with JW Fitness answering another question. Is static stretching required before lifting? How much warm-up do you do? All right, so static stretching is not required before lifting, nor is it advised to do before lifting. There have been plenty of studies that have shown that static stretching prior to lifting will inhibit a maximum muscular contraction, so it deteriorates your performance. Exactly why I don't recall off the top of my head. It has to do with something with your Golgi tendon organs or your muscle spindles, something having to do with the proprioceptive organs that are in your muscles and in your connective tissue that may inhibit an optimum contraction of those muscles if you static stretch prior to lifting weights. So it does have an effect. Static stretching is recommended after your workout. Prior to your workout, you should have a general warm-up. It could just be walking, jumping rope, something simple. It all depends on exactly what you're doing, and it also depends on who you are and what your training history is and how good of a shape you're in and how old you are and all of that. I know a lot of people, me included, that I don't do much of a warm-up of anything. I go into the gym, I go right to my first exercise, and I warm up with that exercise. I do a couple warm-up sets building to whatever my top weight is in that exercise, and then I'll start my work sets. And that's how I do it. So it all depends on where you're coming from. But generally speaking, yes, if you want to do a general warm-up before the workout, that is advisable. Something, not something that's fatiguing, just something that is going to elevate your heart rate. Perhaps you're going to break a light sweat. But that's basically it. I would go from your general warm-up, which would be, like I said, short and sweet, to a more specific warm-up. So if let's say you're squatting that day, you're going to want to do your general warm-up, and then you might want to do a specific warm-up, which is you might want to do like several sets of body weight squats and let yourself kind of sink into the position. That would be a little bit more of maybe like a dynamic warm-up, like a little dynamic stretching, like squat down as deep as you can, maybe bounce a little bit in that bottom position lightly, stand back up, do sets of 20 of body weight squats, and then you would progress to squatting with the bar, and then progressing with your warm-up sets, and eventually up to your work sets. But, a lot of hubbub is made about warming up. I mean, the rule of thumb is if you feel warm and you're ready to go, go. You don't have to spend an hour doing some excessive general warm-up and then foam roll for a half hour and then do some crazy dynamic warm-up for a half. Don't waste your time. Get into the gym, get to the thing you're supposed to do. As long as you feel good, you're relatively warm, you can hit the positions that you need in the movement that you're starting with, you're going to be warm, assuming that you start with the bar, or if you're using dumbbells, use a light pair of dumbbells, and make sure you do several warm-up sets leading up to your work sets. Those warm-up sets should not be fatiguing, but they should just you're getting the groove of the movement, you're warming up your joints and the muscles, you're feeling good, you're kind of working that movement pattern, cementing that in your mind, make sure you don't have any weird aches and pains or areas of tightness anywhere. And then by the time you get to the weight you will be handling for your work sets, you will be ready to go. So that is my advice on warming up. And to answer your question specifically, static stretching should be done at the end of your workout. And that's my answer to that question. Guys, if you appreciate the content, like and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.